We have more now on that breaking news out of New York. At least 19 people are dead in a 5-alarm fire in a Bronx apartment building. According to the fire department, 9 children are among the victims. Hundreds of firefighters responded to the scene. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said it will be, quote, one of the worst fires we have witnessed during modern times. Joining me now by phone is WCBS radio reporter Steve Burns, who is on the scene. Steve, tell us, what is the latest information that you have on this devastating fire?
Well, Lana, we were told at first numerous fatalities were expected, and now, unfortunately, we do have the grim numbers to report from FDNY sources here that 19 people were killed in this high-rise fire, 10 adults and 9 children. Just horrifying numbers here. I'm looking at the building, this 19-story building. You can see it from blocks away. You can see the remnants of the sheer panic and devastation that blanketed this building when this fire first started around 11 o'clock this morning. There's still shattered windows. There are curtains blowing in the breeze here as folks look for some way out of this horrific fire, New York City's worst fire now in 3 decades.
Can you tell us, Steve, anything more about how this fire turned into such a severe situation?
Well, we don't know at this point how the fire started, but what we do know from the fire commissioner is that the fire itself was largely contained to the 2nd and 3rd floors, a duplex apartment on the lower part of this building, but a door was left open, and that's often a recipe for disaster. In this case, that door being left open allowed smoke to billow throughout the building, blanketing this building very quickly. Fire commissioner said they encountered victims who were coughing, people in respiratory arrest, cardiac arrest on every floor of this building. It's smoke conditions that he called unprecedented in his time with the FDNY. With
the fire really contained to the 1st and 2nd floors, but that smoke all the way up to the 19th floor. You mentioned the situation with people being recovered and pulled from that building, coughing, having other types of respiratory distress. Do we know anything more about other people and how they're doing, other injuries in the building? Do you have a sense of those numbers, Steve?
Well, the original update we got was 32 people with life-threatening injuries. So now that we can confirm that 19 people have died, that leaves, of course, another 11, 12 people with life-threatening injuries and another 30 people who had less severe injuries but were also taken to the hospital, along with a firefighter who was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. So it's just devastation from this fire, and you can see from those numbers just the all-encompassing impact of this smoke that rose up from that 2nd, 3rd floor apartment and just blanketed this building very quickly.
So horrible. Do we know anything about what happens to the people who were successfully rescued from the building? Are they going to be able to return? Is that building able to be inhabited?
I would say at this point, probably not. I did speak to several people who made it out. One person told me his apartment was just basically everything was destroyed. Another woman told me her apartment was largely fine except for the fact that she opened the door to get out of her apartment and she was blown back by the smoke, in her words. She felt like she had been blinded instantly. So some apartments are in better shape than others. What we know from the city right now is that a middle school around the corner has been opened up as temporary shelter. The Red Cross is on scene, handing out food, handing out water. But such a large building, again, 19 floors, there are likely hundreds of people who need to find temporary accommodations, and that's what the city is working on now.
Again, 19 people dead in a 5-alarm fire in a Bronx apartment building. Still many more questions needing to be answered. Steve Burns with WCBS, thank you. We're going to take a break. You're streaming CBS at.